Welcome back to Right Side Roundup. They tried to corner him. The fake news media tried to get him to talk about bombing Venezuela, but you know what? President Trump did what he always does. He pivoted right to the issue that matters most to you and me, the unholy war being waged on our streets by cartels and open borders. This is a must-see lesson in leadership. Before we get into this shocking clip and my breakdown, hit that like button right now, smash the subscribe bell, and let's make sure the truth gets out there before the censors take us down.
Well, I think they are sort of a nuclear power. I mean, I know how many weapons they have. I know everything about them. And I've had a very good relationship with Kim Jong-un. When you say they have to be recognized as a nuclear power, well, they got a lot of nuclear weapons, I'll say that. Okay, go ahead, Liz.
What kind of land targets in Venezuela do you want to strike? And how do you decide which ones to strike?
Well, we're going to see with Venezuela. I can tell you one thing. We stopped all drugs virtually from coming in by sea. And we'll stop all drugs from coming in by land very shortly. You'll see that starting. They're not going to want to do that. They're not going to want to do that. But you're going to see drugs stopping coming into our country, just like we stopped prisoners and drug dealers, drug addicts, we have stopped virtually everybody from coming in, other than people that want to come in legally. You know, we have a lot of people coming in legally, passing tests, going through a process, but we don't have people coming in from prisons and from mental institutions and the drug dealers. We don't have them coming in. We have almost nobody. We really have nobody, if you know it. For 5 months in a row, they had 0 people come in. And we used to have 1 million and 2 million and 3 million people coming in.
All right, let's get straight to the facts from this exchange. First, they try to get him on North Korea. The question is whether he'd recognize them as a nuclear power. And President Trump, showing the kind of realism and clear-eyed leadership we desperately need, simply states the obvious. They have nuclear weapons, so they are sort of a nuclear power. That's not a wish, folks, that's a fact. And he leverages his personal relationship with Kim Jong-un to pursue American interests, something the globalists in Washington could never understand. That's called peace through strength. But here's where the mask slips on the media. The reporter throws the ultimate bait. What kind of land targets in Venezuela do you want to strike, and how do you decide which ones to strike? Think about that question. It is designed to create a panic headline and paint a picture of a warmonger. The media wants war. They want the soundbite. They want to focus on a foreign land to distract us from the calamity they created at home. And what does President Trump do? He ignores the war bait and drops the truth bomb. He says, "We're going to see with Venezuela," but immediately pivots to the actual national security emergency, drugs and the border. He reminds us that his administration was already stopping virtually all drugs coming in by sea. That's a massive win for American families right there. Then, he issues the promise the American people want to hear, that they will stop all drugs from coming in by land very shortly. This is the heart of the America First agenda. While the media is dreaming up scenarios for overseas conflict, this administration is focused on the poison pouring across our border and killing our children. He doesn't stop there. He uses the border to define true security, stating that his policies virtually stopped all illegal entries, making sure we don't have people pouring in from prisons and mental institutions and as drug dealers. Remember the chaos we were living under before? The flood of unvetted individuals? This is the core contrast, folks. It's the difference between a government that cares more about foreign entanglements and a leader who cares about the safety of American citizens first and foremost. He made it clear, if you want to come in, you come in legally. That is the definition of a sovereign nation. The media asks about starting a war in Venezuela, and the president answers with a plan to secure our nation from the cartels and criminals. That's not dodging a question, that's setting the national agenda to prioritize American lives. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree that the media asks these gotcha questions to create conflict? Or should he have answered the Venezuela question directly? Tell me what you think. Don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to Right Side Roundup to keep fighting for American values. We will see you next time. God bless.